Hello, 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 Whole Woman Experience Tribe. I am super excited about being able to see you. Well, I guess you see me today. And my special guest, I cannot wait for you guys to get some wealth of information that's going to change your life, your mindset, and just put you in a different path. You probably know this, but I am Natalie Gray Warren. I am the leader and founder of the Whole Woman Experience, and I am your administrator for the Whole Woman Tribe. I'm super excited. I just get really, really excited when I get the opportunity to actually talk with who you're going to meet today. We are going to do a session, Rise Up, how to align your net worth with your self-worth. You know, in the Whole Woman Experience, we spend a lot of time talking about our self-worth and how we see ourselves and the truth of who we are. And we are going to look at the connection between our net worth and our self-worth. And our special guest, who is Natasha Allrich. She is a Soulful Sales Coach. She has helped me in my own business. I will tell you, my relationship with money has been funny. And I have been changing that relationship. Didn't even know I had that type of relationship. You know how sometimes you've been in a relationship? Well, let me say it this way. You have someone who thinks they're in a relationship with you, and you go, I don't even have that type of relationship with you. That has been my journey with changing my mindset with my relationship with money. I am tired of it. I oftentimes some days get frustrated with the fact that it is where it is. But I'm thankful that there are people who are here placed on earth who are doing what they were born and gifted to do to help us to move in the direction that we want to move into. So ladies, I am excited to introduce you to Natasha Allrich. I'm going to step on back and allow her to do what she does best. Natasha, thank you for joining us today and being a part of this tribe experience.
Hey, Natalie.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm fabulous. I'm doing great. Is there feedback? I hear on my end feedback. Do you hear any on your end, or is it clear?
I don't hear anything, so you're very clear to me. Ladies, this is an opportunity to hear, but also share in the comments if you have questions. Natasha is here for us. We have for about 45 minutes, so pull. Get all that you can from this experience. Natasha, I'm going to pull back. Let you tell us more about who you are, what you do, and how you're here to help and support us.
Would love to. First of all, thank you so much for having me. This is such a treat anytime that I get a chance to speak with women, speak with ladies about money and about themselves and their purpose and passion and how to allow money to work for them and to support them in their lifestyle. So I feel honored and I feel privileged. And anytime that you have me speak to your tribe, it's always fun. You have the best people. They're just loving and very appreciative. And one of the things that I remember from the last event that I spoke at, they were willing. They were so willing to absorb the information because they wanted transformation. They wanted change. So I don't count it an accident that we're here today. Some of you will be here part of the live experience, and some of you will watch the replay later. But regardless, what I want to offer you is that the conversation is timely. Is that I am here as a servant. I'm here to impart and share. I am your sister. I am potentially your friend. I am who you are, the best parts of you. And I've been where I'm going to be talking about today. I've been there. And if I'm not careful and if I'm not practicing my own principles, I can find myself right back there again. So I believe that your gifts will make room for you, but you have to first make room for you. Does that make sense? So you got to make room for you in order for your gifts to make room for you. And money is a part of that as well. So let's see. Just a little bit about myself and my background. I've been in business for over 20 years, full time, while taking care of a lovely 11-year-old, running a household, and fulfilling my own God-given purpose and dreams. And I started as a life coach initially, where I would work with individuals on how to manifest their vision in their life and in their career. That's where I started as a certified life coach back in 2003, before anyone even knew what coaching was. And I did that because God has given me one of the gifts that I have, one of the abilities I have is to hear what's not being said. and to be able to have clarity of vision for other people's lives. And there's one thing to have the clarity of vision, but then there's another thing to know the steps that it may take to get there. And that's something that I do very naturally, something that I enjoy, but it was something that I struggled with personally myself, right? It's like one of those things where you can teach it and share it to other people, but you yourself struggle with it. And I struggled with lack of clarity and vision for my life. This was a long time ago now, but it's still important that I feel to share this with you. There was a time where I wondered, how can I use my message, and how can I use my gifting, and how could I use the things that I'm natural at, that I enjoy, that I love, that light me up, to also support me financially. Like, I didn't want to be the kind of person that had this 9 to 5 where it was not enjoyable, where it was sucking the energy and life out of me, where I was settling for income that I knew I was worth more of. And then on the side, I had a side hustle. I had a side business where I could fulfill my dream. I felt like that's not what I was put on earth to do. I wanted to do what I loved, and I wanted to do what I was passionate about as much as I wanted to all day long. In fact, not compromise it because this is how I make money over here, but this is how I serve over here. You follow me? Does that make sense? And I had to first reconcile that thought within myself. I had to first say, Natasha, it is okay to do what you love and to make great money. It is okay to make great money, more than supplying your needs, like to have excess. Whoa, more than enough, like to give away just because I want to tithe because it feels good, to save because I want to be responsible, to splurge because I feel like I deserve it and it makes me happy. It is okay to actually have that type of money. And it is okay to have that type of money come through serving with my purpose and my passion and my joy and my gifts and my talents. And I don't have to compromise doing some 9 to 5 or 11 to 7 or whatever it is, 8 till faint in order to have that dream. And it took some years for me to really, really, really dial into that thought. Like, it really is okay, despite what I was told as a child, despite what mentors I watched that are working really, really hard to take that 2-week vacation once a year, despite what I've been taught in school. I had different thoughts. And if I know you have different thoughts too. You know, to be a part of the whole woman community, that means that you realize that you already were born whole and complete, not lacking a thing. But the problem and the challenge has been is that we bought into society and we bought into things that people have said is how we should be, how we should think, what we should do. And when we try it on for size, sometimes it feels like an outfit that doesn't fit. Mm-hmm. But if we're not careful, if we're not critical thinkers, if we're not discerning, if we don't stop, pause for a moment to check in with ourselves, we're off to the rat race, trying to run and gun for some goal that's not even in our heart. That's not even what we want for ourselves. And it only comes when you stop long enough to just be still, to hear that inner unction of, who am I? What is it that I really, 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 really want? Independent of what my mother said, my father said, my spouse may say, independent of what I think I should do, well, independent of that, who am I? And what is the desire of my heart? Independent of the bill that needs to be paid, independent of the fact that you feel like you have no time, independent of whatever you're worrying and stressing about, who are you? And what do you really, 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 really want from your heart space? And it wasn't until I sat down. In fact, I took a bath. That's how my first unction came to me. I took a salt bath and I asked God, what is my purpose? And I said, can you please talk to me in a way that I can understand it? So when I hear it, I don't doubt it. And then because you know your child, you'll tell me something, but depending on what day you tell me, I may or may not hear it. I may or may not catch it. Y'all follow me, right? Can you send me like a couple of reminders, but like, please do it sweetly. Don't hit me upside the head. Just send me a couple because I really want to get it. See, I don't want to miss it. This is me in the tub, okay? I want to get it. I don't want to miss it, and I don't want it to feel like punishment. So if you don't mind, send it to me in a way that's sweet, that I get, and give me some evidence that what you're telling me I'm on the right track with. And that's when I heard my job is to help others manifest their vision. That's my job. And so the company name came to me, Vision Manifest. And that's how all of this started. Everything that I do now since 2003, full time till now, having my bills taken care of, my lifestyle supported, my daughter getting anything and everything that she needs, taking trips around the world, speaking to audiences small and large in the thousands. It came out of taking that time to sit in the tub long enough to relax myself and to ask the questions that were stirring in my heart. And after that, I said, well, how do I do that? Right? How do I manifest other people's visions when I'm sitting in a tub making $22,000, $22,500 that I negotiated at that time as a social worker? How do I do that? I'm barely getting by. And I heard, let your vision manifest versus letting the stress and letting the drama and letting the bills manifest more. Let your vision manifest. And the way I heard that at that time was, I interpret it this way. What is it going to take? What is the first step that I need to take or consider in order to move my vision forward? And for me at that time, the first step was to accept it. Just accept that it's something that I want to do. Just accept that even if I feel unqualified, it's a desire. And if it's a desire, then as it figures itself out, I'll be prepared. I'll know. And so today's conversation is about rise up, how to align your net worth with your self-worth. And what I did was, by simply stating my desire, in that moment, I started to get into alignment with that desire. Can you hear that? Mm-hmm. And by getting into alignment with the desire, all of a sudden, I was focused on what God said, who I say that I am, whole, perfect, and complete, not lacking a thing, even though I feel funky some days, even though I feel inadequate some days, even though I feel prepared some days. I'm still whole and perfect according to what he says, regardless of my character flaws, right? So I had to really dial that in, like, despite character flaws, despite what I said I would do that I didn't do, despite not fulfilling on promises, I'm still whole and perfect. So if I operate from that place, what is the next step to let that vision manifest? And it was to see my self-worth not based on the income of $22,000 and $22,500 that I negotiated. That wasn't my net worth. That wasn't my self-worth. That's what I settled for. It was time for me to align with my self-worth, the true character of who I am, the soul of who I am. And that is limitless. And that is not $22,500. And once I got clear about that, I started taking what I'm inviting you to consider baby steps to identify what was it first that had me even negotiate and settle for $22,500. And what would it take for me to look at and consider? Notice I'm saying consider, because it's not a should have, it's not a you must. It really starts with considering something different. And once I was willing to do that, I looked at, well, what was it about, that time that had me negotiate and settle for that? And I remembered it was a money story that I had, that in order to do service work, in order to do something that was to serve others, whether it was ministry or mission oriented, helping oriented, anything where it was about giving of myself and my nature, you couldn't get paid well for it. Because how can you get paid well? How can you make a whole lot of money when you're saying you're about service? So I had no vision at that time that I could generate 6 figures of income serving, because everyone around me was working their finger to the bone, tired and stressed out, and left with some peanuts at the end of the day that they then had to ration between their family life, their personal life, and their desires. I'm inviting you that if any of this resonates with you, I'm simply inviting you to think a different thought, that there is a different possibility, that your gifts can and will make room for you, as I said earlier, if you first make room for yourself. Can you hear that? And the question that I asked myself then was, what is my money story? And what is the emotion that comes up for me when I consider my money story? And I shared with you a part of what it was. You see, I come from Jamaican parents. At the time, they were immigrants. And so my parents, my dad had an 8th grade education. My mom didn't even have that. And they came to the United States. And the best jobs they can get was, at the time, my father was a locomotive repairman, and my mother worked cleaning homes and taking care of babies. So if that was the paradigm that I came through, do you think some of those lessons dropped down to me? Of course they did. Do you think some of their beliefs got projected onto me? Of course they did. Do you think that maybe their beliefs became my beliefs? Absolutely. So even though I got a college education, even though my dad said you can be all that you can be and you can do whatever you want with your education, the mindset is the person that got educated. And because my belief, this is why beliefs are very important and careful to pay attention to. Because my belief was the one that was looking through the lens of my education, I still didn't see for me the possibility of having a thriving business that makes multiple 6 figures, that I wouldn't lose someday, that I didn't have to hide and cringe to just in case I didn't make anything the next year. Can you see how the emotional ties to that belief system, how it could dictate no matter how great a person is and how skilled they are and how, how much integrity they have, that story is what dominates and runs their life? Well, it did mine for a long time until I was willing to consider something different. And by considering something different, it opened up possibility for me. It opened up an avenue for me to look at what else is possible aside from this. Because I'm not enjoying being a social worker just making ends meet. The ends can't even meet at the end of the month. So that means I'm going to work feeling bad. I'm going to work unhappy. I'm going to work tired. I'm going to work worried. I'm going to work stressed. And I'm yet supposed to serve children and give them my best. How? I can't get the healthy organic food that I want. I can't do the things after work to kind of just de-stress because I don't have the money to do it. Well, what does that say about the God that I serve? What does that say about my purpose? What does that say about me being here? Like, am I going to do this for another 20 years? Heck no. It stops in this conversation. And so that's why I'm offering this charge for you to rise up, to truly align your net worth, the money that you generate, the money that you earn, the money that you agree to, the money that you settle for, to align with your self-worth, your natural essence, who you came here to be, independent of your flesh, of your skin, of the mistakes you made, of your character flaws, of the things you said you would do, the things you didn't do, the things you feel guilty about. So what? That's because you are living in a human body. That's going to happen for the rest of your life. It has nothing to do with your worth. And when I realized that, and when I began to operate from that place, let me tell you how juicy my life got. I went from living in a 2-bedroom apartment with a roommate to building a home, 3,000 square foot. I went from serving a couple of clients to traveling all around the country in different parts of the world, speaking to audiences as small as 10, as big as 1,000. I went from laying in bed, looking at the ceiling, saying, God, how are we going to do this? I don't know where this money is going to come from, but these freaking bills keep rolling around every 30 days. And I want to be a woman of integrity. I don't want to have late payments. I don't want to ask can you work with me and I pay part of it, but not the other until this other check comes, I can pay the other. I don't want to do that. I went from that to, guess what? My bills are automated. For the last 3 years, they've been automated. They just take the money and then I just reconcile it at the end of the month to make sure that they took the amount they were supposed to. And that is it. The freedom that comes when you are aligned with your self-worth. I went from fighting a foreclosure 7 times to having a year of my mortgage saved and set aside. Can you hear me? I have tears in my eyes right now as I'm talking with you because I truly know this is not a belief. It's what I know. Your gifts will make room for you, but you have to first make room for them. And it will not happen. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are. It doesn't matter if you give the shirt off your back. It will not happen until you consider something different. That is not the work that anyone else can do for you. All it takes is willingness and a light heart to say, I'm open to seeing something different. I'm open to releasing that story. I'm open to getting in alignment with who I really am and the gifts that I really came to bring. So I'm going to just pause for a second and check in because I know Natalie is here. There may be a few more here, but I just want to check in. Natalie, how are you hearing what I'm saying? And do any questions come up at the same time as I'm sharing and talking?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to acknowledge Monica is listening and she says, wow, wow. But as I heard you talking, my money story just started popping into my head. I started to actually, hear that story and like, wow, I actually get excited when there's lack because I go back in survival mode, right? My money story is somewhere around survival. So I'm going, oh, wait a minute, there's not a lot. Let me see how I can make everything work and get a little high off of that. As you were talking, I acknowledged that. I realized that that is not a good story and I need to reframe and change that story. So that was my experience as I just heard you. And then as Monica shared, wow, she's also getting one of those aha moments as you're talking about this. This is important.
Yeah. I would love to hear what you're getting from this as well. So if you wouldn't mind sharing something in the comments, please do. Let us know. That survival mode, it is a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught, especially as women, men too, because men's survival mode looks like hustle.
Uh-huh.
And because they're tunnel vision, nothing else happens. They're right here. There is no peeking over here, and there's no peeking over here. They're right here. Nothing else happens. And they go into hustle mode. They go into scarcity. The house is not happy because dad, husband, spouse, boyfriend is like looking like a crazy person. And the women, we're like walking on pins and needles. Like, I don't know if there's a bomb about to drop, right? It's just like things go out of whack. For us, because we're nurturers, we go into survival mode. And because we go into survival mode, that looks like you said, we all of a sudden our two hands sprout other arms, and it's like, oh, I can fix it, I can do it, I can take care of it, I got this, and you're going crazy inside, and your cortisol levels are shooting up, and you're gaining weight, and you're holding on to fluid, and you're not sleeping at night, and your face might be breaking out, and you're not the best parent, you're not the best spouse, you're not nurturing yourself. Everything gets depleted and kicked to the side because you are here to save the day. And then you do save the day, but because you came from the place of misalignment, it's only temporary.
Yeah.
But you get that high, like when you work out, you get that euphoric feeling, you get that high, like, I did it. Yes. Right. Awesome.
That's right.
But when you open up your eyes and you look, you're looking for the next fall. You're looking for, what's the next thing that's going to happen? You're looking for, well, let me hold on to this money because it might get funny again and I might need to use it. And because that is the thoughts are things, because that is the thought that's dominating your mind, because that is the thought that is consuming your energy.
That's right.
Without even realizing it, you have now sent that out into the universe to repeat itself as a pattern. We are that powerful. If you're a scripture type of person, in the scripture it says, speak of those things as if they were, even though they're not. So here it is. You think the thought, you speak it, and boom, it repeated itself because you literally followed law. Watch the words that you say. The words that you say either give life or what? Death. Without even knowing it, you're like, well, I got to do what I got to do. Who taught you that? Where did that come from? You don't got to do nothing but be. Be whole, perfect, and complete. How does a whole, perfect, and complete woman think? She calls forth, she commands, she stands in her power. She sees what it is and says, that's not my reality. That's an illusion. So what's the blessing, God? What's the bountiful blessing? What's the abundance? Show me that, because I know that thing isn't real. There's no way I can run out of time. Think about it. If we are meant to be successful, and you really define success to be having a healthy body and a sound mind, if you're a parent, having children that are happy and whole and have a strong sense of self, if you have a mate, boyfriend, husband, or what have you, it's to have a balanced relationship where you feel like a power couple and you are the nurturer and he is the person that stabilizes the relationship. Isn't that what this is all about? Is to have a career that you're passionate about, that you look forward to getting to, that you love it so much you lose track of time. That's the life, or some variation of it. Whatever your version looks like or doesn't look like within that. That's the life that we're all meant to lead and live. Whether you're a single woman and you don't have children, it's still to feel whole and perfect and complete, still to feel fulfilled with your mission and your purpose. If you're a man that's single, same thing. Whatever how you identify yourself, it's still to know that you are worthy and worth it, and your life should reflect it. It's because we get out of balance, we get misaligned, we start buying into some BS, we start taking on other people's stories and dramas, and then our ego kicks in and we're like, I want to save the day. Mommy got it. Well, then where is there room for God? Where have you left room for your maker, whoever you identify your maker to be? Where did you allow the universe to step in and say, actually, my good and faithful servant, I got it. Why don't you just let me usher you and guide you to where you can go to get it? How about that? Right. No, step aside, universe. Step aside, God. I'm good. I got it. That is the biggest trick of life, is to think that we got it. Because this beautiful, sensitive heart that we have, the minute it decides to stop beating, you don't got a thing. I don't have a thing. And I'm offering you to rise up and get into alignment. Get your energy back. Get your sustenance back. Get your power back. Remember who you are, independent of the stories that you've led, that you've believed. Remember that you are enough for who needs you next, so that your net worth can truly reflect your self-worth. Now, I see Monica said, let's see. She said, I have the same story as Natalie, survival mode. And to hear there's another way, that's my wow moment. Thank you for that. Thank you. You got it. I got chills in my head right now. Yeah. Powerful. So that's what I do. I help women, men, anyone that I come across, career women, business women, entrepreneurs, get back into alignment with their birthright, despite what their life story has been so far. I help you to get back into alignment with the energy of money, because money is necessary, it's needed, and it wants to be paid attention to. It wants to be paid attention to. And how do I know this? Because money comes from what? Trees. It comes from nature. And you see it all day long. It's a part of us because it was meant to be a part of us. So anytime you're in any lack at all, where money is not present, that has nothing to do with how it was set up. It has everything to do with your beliefs. That can change. I shared my story. You can have your own version of that, whatever that is for you. You really, really can. You deserve it. And I know you desire it or you wouldn't be watching this. The other thing that I want to offer is that as you're changing your story, as you're looking at your story, consider looking at it as an observer versus someone that's been a victim to it. And it's okay if you feel a victim to your story, because that's kind of the first phase, is to feel bad, is to be like, shit, how long have I been thinking that thought? Well, damn, I'm 43 years old now. I could have had it differently. Well, darn, that's why this thing didn't happen. That's why I was in foreclosure 7 times. No wonder my thoughts became things. Oh, well, obviously it's not working for me to feel guilty. So let me get out of that and let me observe it like you do when you watch a movie. You're not the person in the movie. You're not the actors. You're not the characters. You're the person watching the movie. So imagine watching your own money story movie and take yourself through a day in the life of your thoughts. And I would tell you, you're going to go from saying, what, to, oh my God, that actually came out of my head. I can't say that again. And you're going to start laughing at yourself. And laughter is healing.
Mm-hmm.
It strips away the darkness. And that is ultimately what I'm here for. I'm here to shed light. I'm here to be like that big old Megatron light bulb that sheds so much light on the darkness that it can't exist anymore. That it cannot take a root, it can't have a root system and take form in your life and those that you love, especially if you have children. If you have children, you don't even realize how you're imparting your money story on them, because it's not what you say, it's what they see. And their jobs is just to study us. God bless them.
Very
all
true.
they do all day long is study us. They look up at us and they watch and study.
Right.
And then they become. So if not for you, well, I want to say you have to do it for you. And if your first incentive is you do it for your children or your loved ones or your sister, your brother, or your siblings, your parents, do it whatever way you need to inspire and motivate yourself to get going with it, do it. One of my large reasons why I keep persevering and being persistent with this work is because I think about my siblings. I think about my sister. I think about my brothers. I think about my mom. I think about my daughter. And because I'm the oldest, I know that I was the first bearer of this information. And I think about, if I do my part to get free and stay free, and they're just simply watching and observing, and they might get a few things here and there from me, then their ticket to freedom is faster and farther, because I took the steps first. You follow me? Monica says she's been starving for this moment. Thank you for shedding the light. Oh, Monica, you are so welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Oh my goodness. Please share this out with your friends and the people you love and let them know about it. Invite them into this community to watch it. It's my mandate. It's my mandate. And that's why I take impeccable care of myself, because if you're not free, you're in bondage. There's no other in between. You're either in freedom or you're in bondage. That's it. And I love my family. I love my siblings. I love my mother. I love my daughter so much that I'm not willing to have that on my heart. So I started a business where, yes, I am a coach, and I do walk you through how to get back into alignment with your life. If you have a business, with your business. If you have programs, products, and services, how to actually price them properly so they're in alignment with you and with your ideal client. It is a disservice to undercharge. It is such a disservice to think that people can't afford and pay for something, and you think you're serving them by charging less than what the value of your stuff. It's such a disservice, because it means you don't really believe in them. You don't believe in the God that dwells within them. You're projecting your money story onto them. And those that are in service work like myself, we don't even, I realize it now, but you don't even realize how you hold people back by not calling them forward to be their best and their greatest. And it's not a judgment, okay? It's an observation because I did it. I did it. That's why I'm so passionate about it when I see it. And that's why I speak to it when I see it, because you think you're helping, but all you're doing is hurting. You give people a temporary Band-Aid, but that wound is still on bleed because it didn't get healed. Sometimes when you invest in something that seems scary, that seems more, let's say, expensive than what you're used to, sometimes figuring out how to make it work and taking that leap is the very thing that creates healing, because you see that you can do it when you didn't think you could. Now you have evidence that it's possible. Can you hear that?
That's good.
And once you have the evidence that it's possible, it doesn't matter what money story tries to rear its ugly face. It doesn't matter who says what. It doesn't matter what bill comes through. You have evidence. If you did it once, you can probably do it again. But if someone robs you from that because they're like, I'm going to give you a discount. I really need to charge this because this is what's going to pay for the service that I'm rendering, but I don't want you to say no, or I don't want this, or whatever. It's their story, and now they're making it yours. And it's not okay. Because in that moment, we're not operating from our God self. We're not operating from light. We're operating from the ego. And I invite you to make room for God. Because where there is a vision, there's also provision. I'll say it again. Where there is a vision, there's also provision. Natalie, did you want to say something?
Oh, wow. It's good. All good. Let me some feedback. This has been so good. As I'm listening, and I know many of you are listening, stuff is coming to you, right? The money story, where this thing originated and was rooted from. And when I think about it, Natasha, I think about how I've judged those who've had money. So I've judged the fact that they don't clean their own houses. I've judged the fact that they got a limo driver. I've judged it. I've said that they were lazy, or they're not motivated, and as I'm listening to you and even thinking about my own money story, I am looking at the judgment. And the judgments have been the things that have held me back, because I said, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to act that way. And I'm now stretching in my mind and changing the story. And I invite everyone who's listening to this to do the same. As that stuff is coming to you, it's coming to you for you to take a look at it and observe it. As she's saying, we observe our thoughts and figure out, do we want to keep them, we want to drop them, or adopt them? I like to use that as a saying, drop it or adopt it. And so thank you for that, because that really has brought up a lot for me as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to share something with you that is an opportunity, an invitation, in fact, for anyone that resonates with this message. Anyone that recognizes they have a money story, and that story has been gripping their soul and their life. It has been dominating the way they move and operate in the world. It has been subjecting them to settling for, or subjecting you to settling for money that does not have the meaning and does not have the momentum that you needed to have to do what you desire. My invitation, as you heard me share earlier, I am a coach, and I train and I work with individuals who want to go deeper, who want to break free, who want, and I mean break free, not just have a breakthrough or insight. What happens when you have an insight, you have an aha moment, but if you don't cover it up with an action step, if you don't cover it up with some accountability, because you've been in this pattern for so long, you snap right back into it. It's like when you go to a motivational session or a meeting, you feel so good, you feel so empowered, you feel so on top of the world. And then life happens and you get back into your habits and your patterns, right? And because I know that as a coach and as a professional, because I know that, I have created an event. We really call it an experience for 3 days, where there's an opportunity for you to work with me directly in community, for me to guide you, coach you, and support you out of this money mess and into your freedom. And it's called Rise Up, How about that? The very thing that we're talking about. Hi, Zara. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Zara, you have to watch this entire live, okay? We've been going really, really deep on money and money stories and what's been holding you back, having you compromise your God-given talents and abilities, and ways that you can actually start to invite something different in. So I invite you to watch this, and anyone else that's just dropping in, hello and welcome. And I invite you to watch this. So I was sharing with you an invitation, and this is my heart's desire. Natalie knows my work really, really well. She can speak to it in just a few moments. She's been a client of mine. She's had some transformation and some results as well. And this is on my heart. It was on my heart to have 3 days where I can work with women and men on helping them to align their net worth with their self-worth, getting into alignment with who they are and whose they are, and how to let that make money for you. Good money, money that supports your lifestyle. So here it is. I want you to write this down, and someone, if you don't mind, type it into the feed as well in the comment section. Rise up. Align your net worth with your self-worth. It's happening here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're local to Atlanta, then that's really easy. And if you are not, it still is. It's a plane ride or a quick ride. It's a 3-day experience where you get to work with me. Imagine that. Face to face for 3 days, helping you to rise up above the minutia and the limiting beliefs and the things that have been sabotaging, that you've been letting sabotage you, that's been holding you back, and truly get into alignment with your purpose, with your passion, with a plan that can show you how your self-worth can be a part of your net worth. That's what we're going to be going through. And what I shared with you today is just scratching the surface of what we're going to do when we do our deeper dive over 3 days. We're going to talk about money. And I don't do mindset work because your mind is a tricky little thing. Anything that happens up here is not to serve you and to have you operate from the best and highest place. It's about alignment with your soul and your heart. So we talk about the mind and the money, and then we talk about alignment. And you actually start to put together a plan for your money, the new money that you want to come in, whether that's through a business or in your career. And we go through that together, and I coach you through the hard stuff in a way that's fun and inviting, but I do it nonetheless. It's happening this coming March 29th, 30th, and 31st. So that's in a couple of weeks. You can go to riseup2018.com for more information, okay? So if you don't mind typing that in as well, riseup2018 or www.riseup2018.com for more information. And that's where you can get more details. And if you want to message me directly, then I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Okay. What else do I want to share? This is where you walk in with your money story, with the things that we've been talking about that Monica expressed as well, that Natalie expressed, with your survival conversation. And you walk out whole and free with a plan and accountability to get it done, to take inspired action, and to not look back. If you do, it's only to reflect on where you're going and how far you've come, but not to get wrapped up into the ball of that story again. And I'm on a mission to share this message as far and as wide as possible. And part of why Natalie brought me here is because part of her mission is to make sure that you're positioned as a whole woman that's complete, not lacking a thing. And you can't be, quite honestly, living in this world as a spiritual being having a human experience when your money is funny. It's not possible. So I want to create a new possibility with all of you who resonate with this and invite you to be a part of it. It's only $397. That's it. $397. We still are accepting payment plans if you need that, but it covers all 3 days of the training, all of your materials, live coaching with me, working with my team, and we do all kind of other fun things to engage you to make sure that you're getting your breakthrough and that you're getting into a step of freedom. Natalie, is there anything you want to say? Because you've also been to our events as well, and you've coached with me privately also, but anything you want to share about this, I'd love to hear it.
Yes, yes. I want to share that the experiences are always experiential. So you are going to be put in the position to kind of implement as she is teaching so that you can work through and get that accountability and that support in that environment and kind of take it out and use it wherever you're going. And then also one-on-one with her is always great. She walks with you. She's patient, but she's firm and direct and really, really calls you out so that you can really see where you're stuck so that you can move forward. So I appreciate you, Natasha. I appreciate the community listening and taking this in. Ladies, take advantage of an opportunity. You are so worth it.
It's true. You are worth it. Thank you for that. And then there's this really cool Bring a Friend special that we have. It's just $97. So once you register, you can bring a friend for $97. So I'm really big on, I remember a few years ago, part of my money story was, well, when I start making a whole lot of money, I'm going to look around and no one's going to look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to be lonely. And it's not going to be any fun because when I want to go out and travel or go to an expensive restaurant or just do something really cool, my friends can't do it because they don't have it. And so part of wanting to resolve that issue is bringing a friend, inviting someone else to come along this journey with you. The sister friend that's complaining about where she is, but she wants something different, but she hasn't discovered what it is. The person that's open-minded, and this will be an answered prayer for them. Invite them to come along with you. It's just $97, but my God, it's like, I wish I had this. I wish I'm okay with it now because I understand it. But I wish when I was in my 20s questioning my worth. I wish that when I was in my 30s questioning my value. I wish that when I was 35 question if I was going crazy. Here I am now at 43. Happy, solid. I have a healthier relationship with money. Money has a healthy relationship with me. My daughter and I, we throw the cash in the air and we dance around the house with it. It's so different than before when I used to hoard it and hide it and think that it was going to run away or someone was going to steal it or I was going to run out of it. So different. And it's not that I'm perfect because I'm not. It's healthier. Progress is all that I look for when I'm working with clients. Let's go towards progress. Let's get you free and redefine what's possible for your life. Let your new money story, let your vision for yourself, let your gifts make room for you. Let that be the life that you lead and live. And that's what I invite you to today. So if you're interested, you can simply make a comment right here. You can direct message me. We'll put some more information on how you can get in touch with me. But Rise Up 2018 is where you can go to get registered. And then once you register, you're going to get a phone call from me directly. And we're going to talk about your money story. And we're going to talk about what's been getting in the way. And more importantly, what your intention is for coming to the event. I like to know what your intention is because I like to customize the content to really speak to your need. This is although we're a pretty sizable company, we pride ourselves, and Natalie can tell you this, we pride ourselves on being high touch. Even though we use a lot of technology to get the word out and spread our message and all of those things, we pride ourselves on high touch. And then lastly, before we wrap up, I want to invite you to our free community. And Natalie, if you wouldn't mind putting that up as well, it's the Soulful Sales Tribe. The Soulful Sales Tribe, right in Facebook. This is the place where I do a lot of my Facebook Lives. This is the place where we address and talk about money and sales and growth and business and being yourself and not compromising and not negotiating or settling for less than you want and value. And it's all you have to do is type in Soulful Sales Tribe or the Soulful Sales Tribe, and you'll get access to it. And it's also a way for you to get to know me more and for you to be connected to our community as well. So that is free. It's available. I'd love to welcome you into the community, into our fold. And it complements what you're learning here at the Whole Woman Experience really nicely. It's the business side or the entrepreneur side of how to make sure you are whole and intact. Because you can't be a whole woman and you can't be a free woman if you're stressing out and worrying about money. It's not possible. Two things cannot occupy the same mind. And we were not meant for that. We're meant for greater. We're meant for more. And I know your gifts will make room for you. But what did I say earlier? First, you have to make room for them. So with that being said, I'm going to close out and just see if there's any questions or if there's anything Natalie wants to share or comment or just kind of recap. And then we'll say goodbye for now. So Natalie, it's all you.
Yes. Any questions, ladies? I appreciate all of the live viewers, everyone who's listening to the replay. If you're listening to the replay and you have a question, you can send them in the comments here or send me a message. I'll get them over to Natasha if you want to do it that way as well. I want to make sure we have clarity, ladies, so that we can show up in the world clear, bold, and confident, and ultimately be the women we were created to be. Thank you, Natasha, for sharing with us. I told you we're going to get value. And she always does that. She over delivers every time. And so thank you for that. Thank you for listening, ladies. I don't have any other thoughts, but thank you. We are appreciative of what you're doing and the work, and continue to do that. What you are doing is really changing lives, and we appreciate it. Ladies, thank you again for joining our edition this week. It was a special for you all. We know the worth and the value that was going to come forth for it, and we wanted to provide that to you. I will see you ladies in the tribe. Thank you again, Natasha. Have a wonderful day, ladies. Remember to take action. Transformation does come with action. Awareness brings forth the information, but transformation comes through action. I appreciate everyone being a part of the tribe. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye for now. See you on the other side.